Gringos in the house, straight out of Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd. Alex, the boy with the B. Step into rhythm, feel the heat. Street vibes mixing with the Latin tree. In our flow, the two worlds meet. East 10th Street boys bring the party. Bring the noise from Hialeah with some joy.
Water like that.
Well, I'm telling you, bro. I'm focused, bro. I'm focused, man. Yeah, inside out.
You know who I am by now.
Identify as.
You know, hey. When Alex takes a shower, the dude goes for 3 hours. I mean, it's like, you know he's going to be gone for a while. You have time. Do whatever you're going to do. Go grocery shopping. Go eat dinner.
Night, Latin spice and neon lights.
Good evening again. It was like we were here yesterday, but it was actually Monday night. So it's a few days later, we are back for another edition of East 10th Street Boys, straight out of Hialeah. I'm Bobby El Gringo, joined always by my brother Alex the Boy. Alex, how's it been, man? It's been a few days. Anything new?
It's been a few days. I feel like we've talked more this week than we had in
a while, right? We had Monday night, then we talked yesterday on the phone.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like we're rekindling our relationship off the show. I'm doing good, bro. How about you doing, man?
Man, I'm all right, dude. I'm okay, you know. We had a little bit of rain, had a thunderstorm today, but nothing too bad compared to what we've had. You know, I've told these people, man, I just keep the cold weather. I want to keep the cold weather because once it starts warming up, that's when the storms come. Screw the warmth. You got bugs, you got storms, you got humidity. F that, dude. Get that out of here. Give me the 40-degree weather every day.
It's cool. It's cool. Here, actually, it's gotten a little cooler today. It's in the 70s, but it's a bug repellent type of night. That's why you see me right here because I get eaten up alive out here, bro. And it's like a little mini. It's
that
cool
Cuban
swamp.
blood, bro.
It's
that Cuban blood.
They love it.
Yeah.
They know because it has a sazon completa. Chaz
But
would like
let's
to
see.
speak outside you.
That's right. That's right. Cat for life in the house. Great to see you, my brother. Crazy Dolphin. Good evening, sir. DSG, as always, good to see you. Alex, before we start this show, got to ask you.
Yes.
Daily, it looks like every episode we got to ask.
Yeah.
Have you watched The Bronx Tale?
Ooh, I got a surprise for you. I have yet to watch it. No, I haven't watched it.
You son of a... Come on! You've had 2 days, bro.
This weekend, too busy 2 days. Busy 2 days.
I'm a dad. I coach. Oh,
exactly. That's right. That's right.
Volleyball and basketball, and now I do baseball and finger tennis and shit. You know,
finger tennis. What is finger tennis?
That's what you do in the.
What you do? Finger tennis.
If you don't sniff your finger right now, bet.
What? On God.
Oh God. I'm starting an official weekly countdown. Yeah, that's right.
Remember, we already talked about this. We're gonna do a live episode of me watching The Bronx Tale. Remember, that's the whole point. I'm not gonna watch it and ruin the fans' experience.
Here's the thing, though.
We should all watch Bronx Tale.
This is the thing, though. When Alex watches something, like he gets very serious. Like he'll.
I don't talk.
Just like that face right there. He'll be like,
"There you
go." What is he doing with it?
Yeah. Well, and there's nothing that bothers me more than I'm watching something and they start talking to you. It's like, dude, don't you see I'm concentrated on? I'm watching the movie because details matters in these things.
First of all, Tati and my daughter Audrey does the same thing.
Full blown conversations.
It was like, why are they doing that? Who's that?
Yeah.
Is that his mom? Yeah. What's that? What's this happen? I'm learning. Why don't we watch this together and we'll find out since I'm watching this with you. You know what I mean? And she, Tati, shut up. Okay. Then they get mad. It's like, how are you getting mad? Like, just watch the damn thing.
Oh my God, what's gonna happen? I don't know. I didn't write it. I'm trying to watch it with you, so to see if we can see what happens.
Like, let's enjoy this together. Let's figure this out.
Yeah. Usually
I'll
when
tell
the music
you.
starts, it gets suspenseful.
It's like it's always that way. See, whatever. There it is. The recent show, I had no idea anything. I had no idea about it until one day I was like, I'm trying to find something to watch. Yeah. And if I don't, then Tati will put something. And I mean, her shows are kind of a drag. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm not a fan of Abbott Elementary. I tried. There's some funny
Oh,
parts.
Jamila's watching Abbott Elementary.
Yeah, it's a little
She's
over
into it.
a little
She's
over
into
the
it.
top for me.
Yeah.
You know, I just there's some funny things, but not too much. But Tati likes that show. She'll put that on. There's some other shows that we like that we're kind of done with right now. But anyway, she was I think brushing her teeth, so I said, let me check. And I put on Prime. And I saw this new show by Kevin Bacon. And The Bondsman.
Yes.
Have you seen anything on The Bondsman yet?
I've seen the
poster.
Yes.
Okay, so I saw the poster.
Is
and I'm
it
like,
good?
I was reading the description and I went, let me put on the trailer and watch the trailer.
Okay.
And when I turned the trailer, I got hooked. First off, it's a comedy, but it's also, I don't know how to say that. I think comedy horror, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you can label it that. Yeah.
Okay, so
there's some funny. Okay.
So it's
kind of like Dexter.
Yes, but what it is he's a bondsman, right?
Uh-huh.
He's a bounty hunter, and I guess I'm not spoiling because that's right at the beginning. He's a murdered bounty hunter that gets brought back, and he hunt down demons and send them back to hell. He's a bounty hunter for the devil. You never see the devil.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's basically how it's.
That's a cool concept.
But it's creepy too, dude. Like, you know, at night when you see the with the freaking eyes, I'm like, that's my type of show, and I was like, I'm hooked. And Tati, we got hooked on it, so we're like, what? We've like 4 episodes in already. There's 8 episodes on it. So, recommendation for you guys out there: at least check out the trailer. I might not be doing it justice. Check it out. The Bondsman on Prime with Kevin Bacon. There's some good actors on it. It's really good. It's enjoyable. It's interesting. Perfect. It's an interesting concept. I really enjoy it. But anyway, what are you watching, Alex? You watching anything other than not the Bronx Tale?
I'm finishing up Reacher. We're starting. We're already in season 3, so we're doing that one. And actually tonight on Q is The Promised Land. What you sent me.
Okay. So yes,
you haven't watched it yet. No, I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it tonight. That's because I was waiting. I told you, hey, look, Bobby sent me a copy of this. Like, do you want to see it? And she's like, yeah, I want to do it. So the other day I had the opportunity, but she fell asleep. So I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna watch it without her. So I'm like, all right, I'll wait. So we coordinated. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Okay. I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to them to doing season 1. If people, if you guys are just watching, so you know, like what the heck the Promised Land is, the only way I could explain it, it's the Bible meets The Office. It's the story of Moses and the way they talk to everybody. You know, like Moses talks to the camera and he'll talk about, you know, and it's just it's hilarious. I laughed. The Egyptian comes out of the ocean, and you know, he comes out of the ocean and he has to, you know, that he doesn't want to get caught up, so he wears the gear. It's pretty good. Anyway, this one is
the one, and Michael B. Jordan is the actor in this one. I just saw the poster for it today.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I think I did see a poster for that. Okay, very cool. Yeah, I gotta check that out. Reacher, I started on season 2, so I'm a little mad about that because
How did you start on? You didn't notice on the top? You
just
played it.
It's because it was on my recommendation, so I just hit play. But I guess it was started on season 2, which is stupid. It should start on season 1. Every other platform starts on season 1.
Wait a second. If it started on season 2, that means Tati probably saw all season 1.
I don't think so. I don't think Tati's ever watched Reacher. I don't think she has.
Let's get down.
What's another thing I just saw on Netflix? What show did I just see for Netflix coming up?
I can't wait for Happy Gilmore 2 to come out in June.
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out. Oh my God, what did I see the other day? Oh, I gotta start. I saw the trailer for Running Point, the one about the team.
Yes,
team.
Yes.
I want to see that one. After I'm done with Reach, I'm gonna start that one. Oh my God, I started one the other day. But I think it was a documentary. It wasn't a series. I think it was a documentary that I saw. I forgot. I'm into documentaries. I've gotten older. Like,
I have no clue if Ellie's cup is around here. I have no clue. No, I don't see it anymore. I mean, why don't you sneak in and take a peek, because I don't see it here. Let me see. Okay, so let me just say this very quick before I forget. What I saw, 2 movies. Well, a show and a movie is coming out. Okay. And the show is on Apple TV, which I'm intrigued. It's called Stick. It's a new golf comedy series starring Owen Wilson. He looks like he works in a golf shop, and that looks hilarious. And then the other one is Vince Vaughn, You know, which is hilarious because it's
I
Wedding
love Vince
Crashers.
Vaughn. Yeah.
But Vince Vaughn, he's doing one called Nana's, and it's a man that risks everything to honor his mother by opening an Italian restaurant with a group of local grandmothers. There's Tyler Shire, Brenda Vaccaro, Lauren Bronco. So there's a lot of good actor and actresses in that one. So there's some good stuff coming out. So the boys, but are not kids. Okay. We're always the East 10th Street boys. Raphael, is that what you're trying to say, bro? We should be two East 10th Street men. That sounds like a male prostitute. East 10th Street men. You know, what can we do you for? It's about $1. What?
Late night.
Late night.
Dead man on Thursday, 9:00.
Alice, I don't think Happy Gilmore is going to be successful because that movie's a product of the time and that the movie came out.
No,
it will. I think Anthony, it's going to be successful based off nostalgia.
Absolutely,
people are going to want to watch it. People are going to tune into it. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, because the people that were 20 something that watch Happy Gilmore are 40 something now and 50 something now, and they're going to watch Happy Gilmore too. Oh, the show, the boys.
Oh. You were saying, okay, what you said, bro, was the boys, but not for the kids or something like that. Is that what you were trying to say?
Yeah.
The Boys is great.
Yeah.
The Boys is a great show. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Raphael. Apologize, my bro. He's like, why am I catching strays? That's not what I meant.
What's going on, bro? What's going on?
Whatever, Ralph. Thanks for coming, bro.
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe. Those East 10th Street boys are dicks. It's like, oh, come on. But anyway. Show header, the show title for tonight, is should the Dolphins trade Tyreek Hill? Is it time to trade Tyreek Hill? Now, why are we asking that question, Alex? Can you explain what current events?
Well, there was a domestic dispute at the Hill household in his new apartment in Sunny Isles in the Porsche building. His mother-in-law called the cops. I guess she saw him in mid-argument with his wife. There was a computer thrown. He grabbed his child, walked to the balcony. He lives on the 35th floor. The police responded. The police report stated, actually, Andy Slater got the voice, the 911 call, and he was going to play it on his show, The Slater Scoop. Supposedly, obviously, this isn't the first incident. We already saw what happened last year. There was supposedly a divorce presented by Tyreek. Now his wife petitioned for divorce the day after. It's just, there seems to be a chaotic turmoil situation everywhere Tyreek goes. And it's unfortunate, but it looks like it's heading the Antonio Brown route, where it's the dysfunction becomes more than the talent of the player. And you can look, we're in the coaching industry. We know that sometimes talent overshadows off the field problems. That's across all professional sports. But the NFL has been huge on domestic violence and domestic disputes. Even if you're not found guilty, the NFL has the right within their CBA, I believe, to issue a suspension based on a repeated offense, based on the gravity of the situation. So it's a touchy subject, because now you're not only analyzing if you want to move on from the player because of his on-the-field production or his age, contract. Now you're taking into account the off-the-field behavior, which now it's a trend. Now it's not. It's become part of who he is. It's not an isolated incident. And obviously, this is what's known to us. Of course, there's going to be disputes, and the truth will be the truth. There's always three sides to the story, but unfortunately, it's due to the reputation that you have. He might not have done anything. He might have just been upset. He might have just thrown the computer. We've all had heated moments in marriage, in arguments. So the fact that it's Tyreek Hill is just magnified, and it becomes a public story, and it becomes front page news on newspapers. It becomes the top of the story on ESPN, all talk shows. And it's an unfortunate situation, because private matters should be handled privately, and it shouldn't come into play. You're on the field production with your team, with the scrutiny, with the players, with the coaches. But unfortunately, it's part of who you are, man. And as an organization, you also have to stand up for what is right, and there's limits to. There's conduct detrimental to the team, and if you're not representing an organization the right way, there's ways that they can take action, and sometimes they just want to get rid of the problem. Now, what comes into play is Tyreek Hill is one of your most talented players, so there's always going to be a debate. Do you move on from him now while his stock is still high, or do you wait? Is a suspension coming? There's a lot of things there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the situation, so it kind of clouds what are you even going to get for him realistically, because whichever team trades from him is taking on his contract, so compensation is not going to be huge.
Yeah. So for just specify though, too, is that Miami, the police department that was investigating, and the Dolphins themselves have come out and said, based on no crime. I know, I saw that. No crime was committed. That it was a closed case, so nothing occurred in regards to him getting arrested.
No.
Police were called. I guess it was figured out, but still, there's too much.
The optics. It's the optics.
It's optics of it. It's the drama of it. Like you said, it's like it's been all season since the beginning of the season with what happened outside the stadium in the first game.
Yeah.
I mean, even before then, and then of course it's the social media, the peace signs, the joking around about getting traded. I mean, he posted a video of him looking at his phone saying he got traded, and he went, "Oh no," joking around. Like, it's those little things where it's kind of like, what are we doing, man? No doubt, I'll say this, Miami Dolphins are better with a healthy, focused Tyreek Hill, obviously, right? Tyreek has done wonders for Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
And Tyreek's had a great couple seasons with Tua Tagovailoa minus last year. However, sometimes the headache becomes a little too much. And that's when you do have to explore your options. And I do believe Miami will explore their option of whatever presents themselves. So I'll just say very quick, Barry Jackson got some feedback on what Tyreek could command in a trade market if Miami does change their mind and decide, hey, we're going to go ahead and move him.
Okay.
And I believe it was a 2026 conditional third rounder that could go and turn into a second rounder.
Based on playing time or certain factors?
Probably so. If he gets moved, you move for a third, and if he plays and he does a certain number, then that number jumps up to a second. Honestly, I'm at a point now where I'm cool with that. It's more about cap with that and that part of it. It's how does it affect the cap? What's the dead cap hit? Joe Shad posted on there. The cap hit for Miami, if it was to happen, would be a $27.7 million.
I'll take it if depending
if Hill was released before, if he was released.
Oh, if he was released.
Yeah, if he was, his cap hit currently, I think it's currently $27.7 million. If he's released before June 1st, no, wait, that's his current hit. So next season, we're paying him $27.7 million. That's his cap.
Okay, that's his cap hit. Got it.
If Hill gets released, if Miami says, like you said, we're just going to wipe our hands of it. We can't find a trade partner. Maybe nobody wants, but we're not going to have him on our roster. That would be a $56.9 million dead cap.
Hit next year.
This season. It'll be June 1st. Yeah, June 1st. Okay. Pre-June 1st. Traded before June 1st, it's a $28.3 million dead cap hit. If he's released after June 1st, it's a 56.9 still. If he's traded, and I think he has the wrong info here because it's the same one. Because Dave Stager, co-host of the Checkdown, says on OTC the trade poster the Dolphins would save $14 million in cap if he's cut or if he's traded post June 1st.
Yeah.
So my thing is, look, if you keep him, you pray that, hey, maybe he does get suspended. Maybe the league says, hey, it's too much drama. Let's suspend him the first 4 games of the season, and you live with that, and you pray that you get the best Tyreek Hill when he comes back. Obviously the Dolphins are better with Tyreek than they are without him.
Absolutely.
But if you decide the cap is too much of a hit, you do that. If it comes to a point where you just can't do it anymore, whatever will happen will have to happen after June 1st.
Yeah.
It's not like this is going to be a draft day trade and we're going to get draft picks this season. This would be next year's draft.
Can they do a move like a post designation move? Is that legal with trades?
You could tell. Well, yeah, you could tell Tyreek that's a cut, I think, because I think you could tell Tyreek at that point, hey man, after June 1st, we're going to let you go. And of course, that's when the Dolphins release Tyreek Hill and won't become official until after June 1st. You could do that, but
I see that as like the last resort. Like they're going to try to move him. I really think because you can't just release him. That's not really, unless it's something detrimental, like a Ray Rice situation and all that. Like I get that, but at this point, like if you release him, you're basically dropping him for nothing. You might as well try to get something at least, because there's a team that is willing to give up that third round pick for Tyreek Hill easily.
Yeah, absolutely, and I will state too. Again, obviously what the police said and all that. If it's and I'm talking about this current case, any case really, but this case right currently, I'm all about too. If first off, what happened last year during the season, before we get into the case, when he quit on the team mid-game, no prior discussion with your coach, no prior discussion with your teammates, legitimately just walked off the field. Where Jalen Waddle's like, where are you going? Are you done? And he's like, yeah, I'm done. You guys deal with it. And he left the game because he saw that the other team was, I forgot who was winning, and that's basically eliminated from I think the Broncos, and that eliminated us from the playoffs. That you quit on the team. You quit on the team. You're not a leader. At that point, you're not doing your job at that point, and you quit on your team. And how can anybody trust you? How can the fan base trust you? That rubbed me the wrong way. Now, if the Dolphins decide to keep him, then that's a different. It is what it is. You move on, you move forward, you hope for the best. What he said afterwards doesn't bother me as much, like saying, I'll have to do what's best for me, blah, 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 like it's hinting that he wants to get moved. Whatever. Play or say things in the heat of the moment. It's the quitting that bothers me.
Exactly.
Domestic violence. Yeah. Domestic violence is a different beast. Any man that lays their hand on a woman ain't a man. He's a coward. That's how I feel about it. And if it was me running the team, right? We live in that fantasy of armchair GM or whatever, or owner, what do you call it? I don't care what the implications are. I'll sit his ass down until after when it's not going to hurt as much, and then I cut him or release him or trade him for the lowest pick. I don't give a damn. So I want to state that because I saw that comment in there. That's how I feel about it too. But it would have to be post June 1st. I think a deal would need to be done if it was to be done. Now, again, cop said no crime was committed, so we got to say that. But again, it's the constant off the field.
It's
drama.
a constant turmoil.
That's the problem.
When a player has constant, when a player places himself in situations constantly that can be detrimental to him, to the team, to his family, there's a problem with his support system. A lot of these athletes' support system, and I'm not saying you're really. I mean, yes, he has around 10 kids, 11 kids now. So like, yeah, you could be a player, you could be promiscuous. That's fine. You can have a lot of baby mamas. That's fine. And they're all happy with it. That's okay. There's no problem. But you have a trend now of consistent off the field issues every offseason, every in season. And yeah, sometimes like I get it. It could have been unjust at certain points. But if A has a problem with B and A has a problem with C, B and C are not the problem. A is the problem. So there is something that you're not doing right, or you're placing yourself in these situations where, unfortunately, you're only going to get so many breaks, man. Life is only going to give you so many chances. And you have a career, man. You have a career. You have a store. You have a lot of family to maintain. So I just don't understand how sometimes these guys place themselves in these situations. And like I said, I do not know what is his current domestic situation, relationship. Behind closed doors, we don't know what's right or what's wrong. Like, they could be using his image against him. The mother-in-law could be using his image against him. There's a lot of situations, but we'll doubt in the side of.
But like you said, though, you bring up a great point.
Yeah.
It's like if you look like a duck, you quack like a duck, you smell like a duck, you're a duck. Or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I'm an idiot. It's what it is. After a while, like you said, though, people could take advantage. Absolutely, but it's always a thing with you. Like it could be that guy's problem, but the problem is the perception is you because there's always something with you. And DSG, even if Tyreek comes back this season, more than likely this is his last season with Miami if he doesn't get moved beforehand. Scotty Hill needs help. I don't see him getting it and doing the right thing. This is only going to get worse, which sucks. I mean, it does suck, and that's a problem because you would want Tyreek Hill especially after what you've given up for him, but that it's like this. You know who Tyreek is. We know what he is on the field. We know how great he is. He knows how damn great he is. We know that with Tyreek on the field, healthy, focused, is one of the top, if not the top wide receiver in football. Problem is, obviously, he was not focused last year. No. Obviously, the problems came to bite him in the ass, and they're continuing to follow him into the season. Obviously, he's not focused right now. He's not. Yeah. After what happened last year, you would think at the end of the season, which he did quit. It's not an objection. That's an opinion for DSG. He did quit. His teammates said he quit. He said he quit. Teron Armstead just talked about that on Kay Adams. Yeah. He said he wasn't that he told him you were wrong for doing it. Yeah, so no, he did quit on the team, and his teammates watched him, and his teammates spoke on that, and they called him out for it. So no, it's not. There's nothing about it that should be objected. It's fact. And that's where it was being the wrong way. He quit on the team. So instead of making light of it and joking on it and having these issues, he should be focused on like maybe showing some social media videos of him working out, getting ready to play, and determined focus, things like that. But he's not doing that, and that's cool. But the extra stuff with all this, and then like you're doing the funny jokes about leaving, and then you have the extra drama.
Yeah,
that's creating distractions for the locker room. And guess what? That's why Miami will get hard knocks during the season.
Oh yeah,
because of that.
For sure.
Because of that. Because people are gonna want to see Tyreek in the locker room. They're going to want to see all that and see how it plays out on TV. It makes for good television, so and we'll be on First Take. People complain about the Dolphins, the Heat, and the Marlins. All these people don't get on First Take on the big sports center and whatever. Well, of course, Tyler Hero was because he decided to pass up on a layup. But because they always love to discuss the negatives. They want to drown on the negatives. They don't want to look at the positive stuff. They won't talk about Miami winning 5 games or the Heat getting into play on when they thought they were going to be eliminated full. They won't talk about that, but they'll talk about the crappy stuff. So Miami's Dolphins are going to be on a lot of these sports center shows for the wrong reasons. And this is one of them. So, and thank you, Scotty, for the clarification. Let me see. I just want to read here. Scotty says cuts can only be designated post-June.
Okay.
Only cuts can be designated post-June. Trades have to be fully executed at the time of the trade.
Oh, okay.
No post-dating. So there you go. Perfect. So if a trade was to be done, it has to be at that time or post-June. You have to wait till post-June and make the trade.
Correct.
You can't make an agreement at that point. It has to be done at that time. Anthony says, for my opinion is the trade has nothing to do with off-the-field stuff. It's more than that. I feel he's losing a step. If he was just losing a step, I think he'd still be on this team because it's Tyreek Hill. If he's moved, it's because of the off the field issues and what he did at the end of the season.
Yeah, and Tyreek losing a step is
because guess what?
Other wide receiver.
Exactly, bro. Come on, man. Tyreek losing a step is
now if first round
still better than half the league.
McMillan is available and we go with him. Now we know the writing's on the wall. There's going to be a move. There might be a move. We go wide receiver first 2 rounds. Is it official? Can't read that. I got
no. It's not. No, it's not official yet. It's not official yet. They're one of the leaders in the clubhouse for the show Hard Knocks, but they're fly. I know a lot of people saying I don't want to. Oh, I hope they don't. They more than likely will because of these situations. Yeah, it's good. It makes for good TV. Bobby, if the Dolphins knew he had character issues, why trade for him? I don't care about the talent. A place like Miami, it's Miami Gardens. It's not South Beach. And he could be anywhere, and that it happened in Kansas City too. He has a history, and so it has nothing to do with the place. It has everything to do with the player. It's about the people he surrounds himself with. Miami, why would they bring a player like that in if they knew he had issues? Miami's drafted players with issues. They've signed players with issues. They drafted Xavier Howard. It's what it is. It's just what it is. You hope that they make the best decisions and you move forward. Talent outweighs what happens, unless he's a legitimate criminal. It is what it is. Yes, but but I guess it's just coming back around. So I don't know where. Great to see you, Happy Wolverine. I don't know where Barry. I didn't get to see Barry Jackson. I did see like just the highlight of it. I didn't get to read what he wrote. If somebody wants to look at that, but he said that I guess he asked around the league, and Miami possibly could get a third rounder for next year that can be a conditional for a second rounder that could go up to a second rounder for 2026. And for me, I'm cool with that. Shout out to Paul Maurice, head coach of the Florida Panthers. They won tonight, and now he's the third most wins in NHL's history.
Wow.
Yeah, so shout out to him. Awesome coach, man.
Great coach,
and,
man.
Yes, he is. And it looks like Machan got a goal, which is pretty cool. Brad Machan. 4-1 win over the Red Wings tonight. That's pretty cool. At least we have them. The Hurricanes, Xavier Restrepo visited with the Dolphins today. That was pretty cool. We'll see how that goes. You know, I don't mind seeing some hometown boys stay. We'll see if it goes down that.
What is he projected? What round is he projected? Because I know his 40 time is really dropping him down the boards. And I wouldn't mind taking him.
No, I'll tell you this right here. I don't think he dropped over any boards. I think he is going to get picked where he's going to get picked. You know, if he would have had a great pro day, he may have he may have gone up a board, up some boards. But because he's like, because you that's when you focus on film, watch his film, you watch his history. I think he'd probably go third round, late fourth round. I don't think he'll, I don't think
you don't think he dropped below that?
No, I don't think so. Somebody's going to grab him. God, the crickets are loud tonight. It's not me. I'm indoors.
Me. That's on me.
Yeah, Crazy Dolphin. I just heard your comment when I said that, so it's pretty funny. Yeah, Alex does his show outside in the heat with the mosquitoes
and the nature.
Today's
the cool heat.
The cool heat. Yeah, Scotty, right on. That's the thing. It's and I read this comment, and who said it? It was one of the writers. Local writers who said like Miami, oh my God, I don't know who it was, but it was such a great point. But basically saying like for no reason whatsoever, Miami extended him last season. You didn't need to do that. You didn't. Tua was obvious. That made a lot more sense because it's what even though now you could have said it would have been a smart move if you didn't because then you have a legitimate option if you want to move on. But it made more sense to extend to it than it did Tyreek.
Correct.
You didn't have to do Tyreek. Now you're caught in a trap. You're kind of screwed one way or another. But hey, Chris Greer, Alex, and honestly, I'd said this. I believe once these players who come from situations that don't have a ton of money and they get it, they can get away with everything. Okay. But anywho, let's go jump into the NBA very quick. Big shocking news. Out of Denver, the Denver Nuggets, who beat the Heat a few years back for the NBA championship, fired coach Mike Malone right before their GM right before the playoffs. I mean, which is just crazy. Alex, I texted you. You were like, "What the?" And it was funny because it was one after the other, and I was reading right before you sent me that text because I started looking it up because I saw the GM got fired, and I found out both guys did not like each other. They did not talk to each other really, which is kind of crazy. They talk behind each other's back. And now they're both out of a job. What do you think about Mike Malone getting fired for in Denver?
Well, if he wants to coach next year, he's going to coach. Mike Malone is a great coach. Unfortunately, with teams, any professional team, really, things run its course. He's a very high, strong guy. He's in your face at times, and some players like those coaches. And when the results are there, you're always going to be supportive of those coaches. But for any and I'm not saying the Joker was involved with this because he already came out and said that he was informed of this. He wasn't asked for his opinion. The ownership that they've made, I forgot who was the one that said this. This ownership group that owns various teams in various markets, in the Premier League, they own the Rams, obviously. They own the Colorado Avalanche. They're not known for firing their coaches. They like to keep their coaches long term. The timing of this is what caught me by surprise, because what it tells me is that they already made the decision. They were going to fire them in the offseason. But what they were trying to explain is that they'd rather do it now. So in the given case that they do win in the playoffs, their minds don't change. So it's basically like one of those persons that makes a decision and they don't want to go back on it. So they just do it either way. And I mean, by all means, the interim head coach, David Adelman, which is Rick Adelman's son, he's already interviewed in multiple places. He has a chance to be the permanent coach. But either way, places like that, I wait now for the offseason. What's going to happen there? Because you got Jamal Murray's extension kicking in. It was a team that didn't do any moves during in-season to actually improve their team. They made their run. There was disagreements between their head coach and their GM, which is not, you can have disagreement, but supposedly it was not a very good working relationship. Like you just mentioned, they weren't even talking to each other at the end. So that is a rift. That is an organization that is looking to start completely brand new. Obviously, the names are already coming on the board for GM. Bob Myers is the top one. Their people are going to pursue him. And he's going to bring his coaches. Most likely will used to be a Warren's assistant. He'll bring them with him. There's a lot of things that go on. Just the timing of it is very unfortunate, because you have a team. What tells me is that the locker room was lost, because when you have a team that makes a move like that before the playoffs, that means that the locker room is not responding to their coaches. And this is basically, I would say, seasonal. A lot of teams go through this where they change their coach, or if you don't, some teams start tuning out their coaches after a certain period of time. You got 5 to 6 years. After that, you'll see some of the core pieces change or the coach change. And you see it across the board. The only ones that have really been successful long-term has been Pop in San Antonio, because even Phil Jackson had his runs with Chicago. He left after the 7-8 seasons. He had his runs with the Lakers. He left. New players came. Then Phil came back. Like it's like that in the coaching circles. Teams legit have 5 to 6 year windows, and we see this. These leagues, especially the NBA, the last 4 coaches or 5 coaches that have won NBA Finals have been fired within 2 years. So the Eric Spoelstra situation here with Miami and Pop's situation with San Antonio, that is foreign in this new league. And Steve Kerr hit the nail on the head. There's so much money being injected into this league right now that the owners do not care the cost of firing their coaches. Look at Matt Ishbia. Matt Ishbia is going to fire Budenholzer. He's already fired 3 coaches within 3 years. Like, he's paying all their salaries, and he's going to hire another coach, and he's probably going to fire the GM. He might make a run at Bob Myers. So it's just the nature of the business. It's just the timing is really surprising. And the fact that it happened to 2 coaches within 2 weeks, this close to the end of the season, coaches that are in the playoffs, you don't see this. I've never seen this before in my life. I know it's happened maybe before. They mentioned Hubie Brown, but to have 2 coaches in the same conference with teams that are in the playoffs get fired 2 weeks before the playoff starts, I was like, whoa, that's crazy to me.
No, it is. It absolutely is. And what's crazier, I've seen a lot of comments afterwards about, people using this situation that happened in Denver and elsewhere with Coach Spo and the Miami Heat. Yeah. Wondering why, he still has a job after what's happened the last few years in Miami, which is crazy to me. But I thought we'd discuss it because there's some Heat fans that are saying, hey, I wish Coach Spo would go to the front office. We need a new voice. We need a new visionary and as a head coach. Or some people are straight up, let's just fire him, clean house, get rid of Pat, get rid of Coach Spo. I don't think people realize how lucky they are with the Heat organization, the stability that the Heat, the cohesion, that everyone that works together. A lot of people blame Pat Riley for a lot of things when it has a lot to do with Mick Arison, who's the owner of the team. When he makes decisions and he tells Pat, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, right? And Pat has to go by that. That's why it's a cohesive unit. That's why everyone usually is on the same page. You never hear, oh, Pat Riley did something Coach Spo wasn't happy with, or Spo's doing something that Pat Riley's not happy with. They're all on the same page. And, you just talked about San Antonio. San Antonio, with Coach Popovich, how a lot of teams wish they had that situation where you had the same coach, and sometimes you're going to fall, but sometimes you're always in the hunt. One thing with the Heat that people can say about Miami that other teams can't is, there's some down years, but the majority of the time the Heat are in the hunt. If you go and look at how many times, look at the last, I don't know how many years, and look how many times who's representing the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals or in the Eastern Conference Championship, it's the Miami Heat. So you can't say that for other teams where Coach Spo has led different variations of the team. Oh, well, it's because he had Jimmy Butler. Phil Jackson had Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. What are we talking about? He's viewed by most as the greatest coach of all time, and that might be an argument against it, in my opinion, that because he had all those guys. He had those two guys. But that doesn't mean he won with them. Other coaches didn't. You look at Pat Riley. He had Kareem Abdul and Magic Johnson and whatever. Popovich, he had Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, Robinson. You need great players and you need great coaches, because look what happened in Cleveland. They couldn't win with LeBron, Kevin Love, and Kyrie until they finally got Ty Lue, and Ty Lue's a smart coach. He's a good coach. He used to be a good player. It takes a good coach. Who was his name? Was it Blatt? Who was the GM? I mean, the coach. The coach
was David Blatt, but the problem is David Blatt was hired to coach a young team.
Yes, I know. But my point is, but everybody used to love that argument. Loves to use that argument. Oh, Coach Spo's only had the reason why he's been in so many finals and he's won championships and he has that record is because he's had great players. You can make that argument about any coach. What are we talking about here? If that was so easy, then David Blatt would be an NBA champion right now.
Correct.
Mike Brown would be an NBA champion right now. What are we talking about here?
Yeah. And tell me, when was the last team that won a championship that didn't have a superstar?
Let's think about that for a second.
There's no team that has won that hasn't had a superstar.
What about the Pistons? Detroit Pistons.
Well, there you go.
Right?
That
right? That's a fair point.
Correct.
But they had Larry Brown. Larry Brown was a damn good coach. Larry Brown's one of the best ever.
They had Chauncey Billups. They had Rasheed Wallace. They had all great players.
They were more,
exactly.
But let's be real, one of the best defensive teams in basketball ever.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
They were a boring team for those who love scoring, but they were a fun team for someone like you and I that love this. I enjoyed watching. I hated when we played them, but I loved watching them because there was no legitimate superstar. But Chauncey, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace couldn't score a freaking bucket.
Tayshaun Prince.
Oh my gosh,
Rasheed Wallace.
Oh, but there was no legitimate. But my point is, to your point, who doesn't think about what the Heat have done since LeBron, even without a Jimmy Butler?
Correct.
To still be within the conversation. I think it's ridiculous that there are, and you know what it is, and I'm sure there's a few outliers. I don't want to say everyone's like that, but a majority of the time when I see people who say stupid shit like that, and I'll say that, forgive me for saying the word, I think it's when I see stupid stuff like that, people posted about firing, get rid of Pat Riley, get rid of Coach Spo. Coach Spo should be fired, blah, blah, blah. These are guys who've been fans like in recent memory. They haven't been around through the whole run.
No. It's a seasonal. It's the big three era. That's when a lot of these Heat fans started being Heat fans. Yeah, and they took it for granted because they saw 4 years of finals appearance, of basketball excellence, and they expected this forever.
What's up, Lou? Great to see you, brother. Thank you for coming on. We need to get Lou in here, man. Lou is
Lou, we should have beat them in 2005, but if you remember, Shaq was a little banged up, but Wade had a problem with his rib cage. That's the reason we lost Game 7. Wade was out because we should have beat them in 6.
Yeah,
that was about the year before. We lost them in the Eastern Conference Final the year before
against the Pistons, and we won the year after.
And we won the year after. We beat the Pistons the year after.
But the Pistons, I think the last team. I can't think of another team, and that's a great.
Yeah, think about it.
Like, what do you call thing to think about is like which team was the last team that did not have a superstar that won?
Yeah,
because you think the only other question you could ask is what superstar didn't have another superstar to play with him that didn't win? That was Giannis on a but it was the Pistons. I don't know if there's another team that won without a superstar.
There hasn't been any other team aside from the Pistons.
Yeah,
because you could even start going out. 06 was us. 07, I believe, was the Spurs. They beat LeBron. They swept LeBron.
Yes.
08 was 08 the Celtics, the big three.
The
09, the Lakers. 2010, the Lakers. 2011, the Mavs. We should have won.
Yeah,
12, 13, Heat.
14
Spurs. 15 Warriors. 16 Cavs. Was it Cavs 16? Yeah. Then again 17 Warriors. 18 Warriors. It was 18 Warriors?
Yeah, I think they won 2 in a row, right?
19 Toronto. Yeah, they won 2. Yeah, I think they won 2 in a row. 19 Toronto. Kawhi Leonard. That 1 year where Kawhi was there in Toronto. That's it.
And again, that was one superstar, even though like DeRozan, Lowry. No, DeRozan was traded.
DeRozan was traded.
So it was just Lowry, but he wasn't another superstar. He was just a star.
He wasn't a superstar. He was a secondary.
But that Kawhi was a superstar.
Kawhi,
whatever. Leonard. Yeah, he laughs. He goes. He goes, I don't even know where you are. Somebody forgot to turn on Smile.
He looks like a robot malfunctioning.
No, you ever seen Men in Black when you open the head and there's a little alien there? That's what it is. I was like, I forgot to press laugh button. Smile. Oh.
Yeah. Weird sinus mixed with laugh.
That's right. Good times.
Amazing times.
But no, man, let me ask you. I guess that's another way to say. If let's say another way, because maybe the easy answer is like, oh, you just go within. But let's pretend you don't go within. Let's say there are options out there. Let's say Coach Spo says, you know what, I'm done. I'm gonna go and retire, because you wouldn't fire him. Would you fire him?
Who, Spo?
Would you fire Spo?
No, absolutely not.
So
Spo right now is only him and Pop are in this stratosphere right now. They're in the I'm not gonna fire. That you can't fire them.
You can't fire them. And you shouldn't fire them. You shouldn't. Because Popovich is about to step down because God bless him, his health. He needs to focus. I would love to see Pop back on the sideline for at least one more year. But
they're talking about Malone going over to take over the Spurs, because Malone was a long-time assistant under Pop.
Yeah.
So that's one time.
But here Lou got in there too. Might have to go back.
No, Bill Watson was a superstar, man. At that time, and who was the head coach of that team? Do you remember Dr. Jack? So with a stuffer, Jack Ramsey, the announcer, the Heat announcer in the 90s.
Yeah.
That was their head coach.
Oh,
Dr. Jack.
We do voices here on East Entry Boys. Stuffer. No, when we laugh, that's how we gotta laugh now, Alex. You can't do. You can't do that. You gotta be like, let me the shirt. No, don't even do the reaction. Like. Fuck.
Bob. You gotta get that voice in you gotta get that laugh on the.
Just to do the laugh. Oh yeah, to do like sound effects. I'm gonna start doing that. I got. You know what? I gotta do that. I gotta do it for sure.
Dr. Jack, man, Jack was awesome. Jack Ramsey.
If you had to choose another coach to coach the Miami Heat, not Chris Quinn or
it can be from anybody. It can. The staff is not available.
Yeah. Because I know that's more than likely where you're going to go, right?
Well, ideally, what the plan is kind of like what Brad Stevens did. Brad Stevens moved up to the front office, which would be Spo.
Yes.
And then he promoted from within. At that time, he promoted Udoka. Miami will promote probably Chris Quinn. And there's a reason they signed their staff to 4-year extensions. Caron Butler. They're moving them up. There's potential there. Kasib Powell is an assistant coach. Wayne Ellington is an assistant coach. Like, there's a lot of things. But hypothetical, anybody out there right now?
Yeah, let's say you took over the Heat tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And Coach Spo goes, hey man, I'm not going to work with you, dude. You don't have no experience. I'm not going to do that, dude. No, all respect, but I'm leaving. Okay, thanks for everything, Coach. He leaves, right? I did a whole storyline. Coach was like, I'm not working for Alex. I've seen his show. He's full of shit. He thinks he knows it all. I'm not going to be arguing about who we're going to start. I'm not doing that. So Coach Bo is out the door. He's left. You know, there's your
Yeah.
first drama. You're on ESPN. You have to explain yourself why the Hall of Fame coach is leaving you. Who's the first coach? Like you're looking like, okay, if I'm going to bring a coach to lead my team, I'm calling this guy. Who's that guy outside the organization?
Oh my God, bro! Out of the top right now, there's so many things I have to go.
Who's
through.
available? You know, obviously you can't go guys who got a job, but guys who are available right now. I'd love to know that. That's intriguing to me because that you got to think about our roster, maybe where you think our roster is going to go if you're running that roster, right? So you got to go. Okay, hey, do you go with a veteran? Do you call a Mike Malone? Do you call a Doc Rivers if he's available? Do you call anybody, or maybe there's a younger coach out there? You're like, man, you know, I want to see what happens with that guy over there, Jordy Fernandez or Brooklyn or whoever, somebody.
I like Jordy Fernandez.
I know.
I really like Jordy Fernandez.
I'm with you on that. I do. But I mean, he's not available. But if but I'm just saying, anybody, the Memphis coach, is there someone out there that you're like, I'd call him?
Who would I call?
And that goes for everybody. I mean, if you have a name out there, throw it out there. If there was a coach, if Spo left and you had the power to hire a coach from the outside, who's the one you would like to see in Miami?
Damn, I gotta see.
Oh, Alex would know that one.
In the lane with a pretty hooker.
That's true. Oh no, Jack.
I'm gonna watch it. I promise you I'm gonna watch it.
What shit?
Let me think about it, and I'll get back to you before the show ends because I really have to. Like, there's options. I just have to see which coach is available right now.
All right, who are the top? Okay, you have to have 3 guys in your head right now. You're beating yourself up too much. What's in your head right now?
I really don't. No, I really.
You have no names. You're blank
right now because I think I would not be upset with Malone, but he's not my top choice.
Lou says, "How about Billy Donovan?"
Nah.
Why are you gonna say it like that? It's kind of a dick move.
No, I don't want. I really like the OKC head coach, but he's not going anywhere.
Let me see. Let me look this up. Hold on. Oh.
Tell me. Okay. Hold on. Let me look. Don't even say anything. You look them up. Don't say anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you my top.
I'm gonna look up available head coaches.
I'm gonna do the same thing, and I will tell you my top 3.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. It's Billy Donovan. Who is this? Doesn't he still coach? He coaches Chicago. No?
Chicago, yeah. He coaches Chicago.
Yeah. What happened with Tyler Jenkins? Why did he get fired? Did they say why?
It was a rift between the GM.
Okay. So just for those who hi Elianita. My youngest is watching, guys. I apologize. I gotta say hi. She sees me. So hi Eliana. So that way she sees I'm not saying hi to her. She's trying to say hi to me. I'm sorry. I love you.
Okay, I got 2. Okay.
We got snow this weekend.
I got the 3. Got the 3.
Okay. I'm intrigued to hear.
I have obviously Mike Malone will be 1.
So I
will consider Mike Malone. Yes, yeah. To me he's a great coach and he fits the personality. The next one I want is Royal Ivy. For people don't know who Royal Ivy is, he's an assistant under Houston. He was the coach of South Sudan. And then I like the assistant from Minnesota.
Not Nori?
Nori, yes.
Yeah.
I like Nori a lot. And then I still love Queenie. I know a coach has been mentioned a lot. Well, you know who also I would consider? Mike Brown.
Yes.
I would consider Mike Brown, because Mike Brown is the same toughness, defensive-minded, yet very innovative in that regards. So I would consider him. And maybe, you know what? I want to see who gives. Wow. I'm about to say this. I wonder if Phoenix looks into Steve Nash as their next head coach when they fire, or Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni hasn't coached in a while. See?
What the fuck? Alex, we need to talk, bro. What's up?
What do you say?
Why is my daughter?
Hi, other daddy. I think because he said Godfather, like the
our wives are getting to them, you know.
Yeah, I had to correct her. Hi to you, Alex.
Hi, other daddy. No, honey. I'm only daddy. When she asks my wife, is he your dad? Is he your daddy? She's like, no, my dad's out there. I go, I could be your daddy.
Yeah. I'm a daddy late night.
That's horrible.
That's my father. He's my daddy.
That's right. But so would you consider D'Antoni? Is that who you?
No. I wouldn't.
Oh, you were saying possibly as Phoenix.
I was saying Phoenix. Well, if they will come back to D'Antoni.
Yeah. First of all, the two assistants you brought up, I like that, Ivy and Nori.
Yeah.
I think Jenkins has to be considered from Memphis. That would be somebody I would consider because of the longevity. He's still young. He's only 39 years old. What he was able to do with those guys. Obviously, Malone has experience, right? I understand that you're like, hey, championship coach. You know, you saw what he was able to do in Denver. Obviously, with Joker, but I don't know why I would lean towards young coaches. Try to just keep the youth, but also guys who, there was someone else. Let me see if. Well, I do like Mike Brown. I like that name. I do. Brown, yeah. That's a guy that I would 100% consider. I think he was done wrong in Sacramento, right? It was Sacramento where he got fired.
Yeah, Mike Brown. Malone? Oh, Mike Brown.
No,
yeah,
Brown.
Sacramento.
But I like what he's done.
Malone used to coach Sacramento before.
Yeah, I know because I remember Malone was talking trash after Mike Brown got fired.
Yeah,
but Brown is someone I would like. God, there's another guy. I was like, but he's not. He has not gone, so I don't want to bring him up. Another name, an intriguing name, and I do think this person, I'll say it like that first before I release it, is a very smart coach. Is a good coach. Comes from a great tree. Is a championship coach for
Frank
another
Vogel?
league. No.
For another league?
Yes. Can you think where I'm going? I said this person because I don't want to say because I don't want to kind of.
But championship coach from another league, like NCAA?
No.
Another, it's like a professional league, like a
WNBA.
League?
WNBA.
Oh, Becky Hammond.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. That's a name.
She's gonna.
She should get a job, dude. She comes from Coach Pop's tree. She's smart as hell. And I think that legitimately she could be a damn good coach. Like if you were gonna break that window, like that ceiling, what do you want to call? I know people want to say it like that glass ceiling, and get the first female head coach in NBA history. That's the one you do.
She's the one.
So that's when I would consider doing it. Hey boys, stop laughing. She's being grumpy now. Okay. Sorry, Eliana.
You. I think there might be an NCAA coach that makes the jump this year.
Yeah.
I think there might be a coach that gets an offer from one of these teams that makes the jump.
But that's why, like, Billy Donovan is the one where he was the one who came from Florida, went to Orlando. Yeah. He's the one that gave me a bad taste in my mouth because he went to Orlando. I remember he retired.
5 days.
And he left right before, like,
and
where did he go?
He went back to Florida.
He went back to Florida. That's right.
He never wanted to leave in the first place. That's why they understood him. But then there was a stipulation in his contract that he couldn't coach in the NBA for the original 5 years, which was the length of his contract. And then Stan Van Gundy was supposedly going to sign with Sacramento, and then he got the call from Orlando. And Stan Van Gundy's one of the great coaches.
Absolutely.
I know he has history here. That's why I wouldn't consider. And after his wife passed away, I don't think he's ever going to coach again. I don't think Stan is going to coach again.
Again, I would rather go younger. I think Mike.
Yeah.
Again, I don't mind. Again, I'm Mike Brown, and again, I'm not for firing Coach Spo at all. This is just hearsay, right?
This
hypothetical. Like if this was to go down, this is where we'd go. But I'm not against Mike Brown. But if I was going younger, I would think Jenkins, Nori. Oh my goodness, Alex, who was the other one we talked about? Anyway, that guy, and then I said I would consider Becky Hammond 100%. Let me just let everybody know, as we're getting closer to the the NFL draft, I saw a name in there. I saw Damian Martinez as a possible option. I'm 100%. I'm cool with that. Obviously, the hometown boy, keeping him home, haven't played with Miami, the type of back I would like in Miami, a thumper. I'm down with that. Amari Hampton is another guy. A lot of people talk about him possibly going in the first round, as high as 10 or 12 to Dallas, or 10 to Chicago. You also have Henderson at Ohio State could go in the first round. Ashton Genty. There's going to be there's a lot of running backs reported could be going in the first round. So, Miami must probably, if they want to get one, they might have to get one a little earlier in the fourth round, possibly. Guys that I like. Again, I like Damian Martinez. I love Hampton. I think he's really good. Martinez, I like. Ollie Gordon out of Oklahoma State's another guy. For those who love, first off, the Dolphins, they love the draft. You want to stay up to date on that. Join me, Josh Wingate, and Coach Vogel on Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern time for OTC on the clock, Miami Dolphins draft show. We scout, talk every player, talk the latest Dolphins draft rumors, all of that. But also, the days of the draft, April 24th, 25, 26, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, FTSN for the third year running. We'll have live coverage, live reactions to the draft. Every round, every pick, every hour, instant analysis, live reactions to that pick, and giveaways, gift card giveaways. When you're watching the show, we'll do a giveaway to a lucky viewer towards the end of the draft of that draft day. Get a gift card to Caneswear. So let me go. Started the draft 8 p.m. Eastern time. Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Alex, myself, Josh Wingate, and Coach Vogel will be live for that. Saturday at 12, Finch Talk Today will be taken over by the Pro Football Draft Live coverage show with me, Fish Tank Hank, and the rest of the FTSN crew will be there again to instant react, analyze every pick. And again, every day you'll get one lucky viewer for each day. We'll get a gift card to Caneswear. Caneswear, guys. First off, shout out to Caneswear to get the Caneswear podcast here on FTSN. Brett and his crew at the Caneswear location. Unbelievable gear. If you're a Dolphins, Heat, Hurricanes, Marlins, the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, Inter Miami. If you're a fan of those teams, you bleed 305. Go to the Caneswear store at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. Got a lot of great gear. They just got a Mitchell Ness, Miami Hurricanes, Sean Taylor, and Ed Reed jerseys, Miami Hurricane jerseys. They are gorgeous, beautiful. Okay, and if you're going to get a jersey for a player, I always recommend, even though I have some current players, I got a Tyreek right here. Thanks a lot. If you're going to get a player, go get a player who used to play for the team or a player who finishes. Those are the best jerseys to get. The ones who are Hall of Famers or legends. Sean Taylor, come on. Ed Reed.
And I got something to add to that, Bob. And this has always been my belief, and I've never really shared with anybody. Obviously, Ed Reed is probably the greatest safety of all times. But if Sean Taylor doesn't pass away, I think Sean Taylor would have ended up being the best safety of all times. That's how talented Sean Taylor was, and that's how much respect. People don't remember Sean Taylor. A lot of people don't even remember seeing him play, not only in the NFL, in college. And when I put side by side him and Ed Reed, like, I legit think, because Sean Taylor was a little bit taller, I believe a little bit stronger than Ed Reed. Like, he could have gone down as the best safety of all time.
It's one of the biggest what ifs And it's a tragedy, and it's something that obviously for the Commanders, the Washington football team, whatever you want to call them, it still affects them because it's like, man, we had someone.
What could
have been for Hurricane fans, Miami fans. It's you one of your own
killed before his prime.
It was horrible. And so, Lou, I appreciate you, brother. Please, man, tune on in, comment as you're watching a draft. You're watching it on TV. You're reacting. We're gonna be on here. It'd be awesome for you to tune in and chime in. And hey man, have a shot at winning a Kingswear gift card. Get you or Ashley some nice gear. Hunter says, if you could trade up for any player, who would it be? So let's assume round 1, pick 13. Miami sitting there. First off, lucky pick 13, right? Obviously, Dan Marino, number 13. The last 2 picks for Miami at 13 was Christian Wilkins and Laramie Tunsil. We know how that panned out in regards of the type of player. So Miami actually is in prime position to get a very good player at pick 13. Let's be real. If the rumors are true that we know the agents and so-and-so are going to be pushing, you got Cam Ward going to Tennessee. What happens to Shedeur Sanders? Does Shedeur Sanders go to Cleveland? Does he go to the Saints? Does he go to the Raiders? Whatever. If he goes in the top 10, Cam Ward, Shedeur, maybe Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe. Milroe will be in the green room. So Jalen Milroe thinks he's going early in the draft, whether that be round 1 or the start of round 2. So let's say he goes in round 1. Let's say for whatever crazy reason he goes on the top 10, whatever. At least the 3 of those guys. That's going to push a lot of good players down. So at 13, you could end up with a very good player that should have been taken earlier on based off his ranking. But let's just say that if this like the way I was playing around with it today with my mock, because I was trying to do my mock and I do it a little different. I look at all the reports, I look at the rumors, I watch the players and all this. But Cam Ward goes number 1. Abdul Carter goes number 2 to Cleveland because of Myles Garrett. They want to pair him with a guy, right? They skip on Shedeur. I think they're going to try to maybe trade back into round 1 and trade for whoever's left on the board in regards to quarterback, whether that be Milroe or Jackson Dart. But let's say Shedeur goes there. Abdul Carter. Giants, they signed Jameis, they signed Russell Wilson. Let's say they go Travis Hunter. Then you go to 4, which is the Patriots. Patriots could go Will Campbell there, right? Left tackle, right? They go Will Campbell there. They got to fix the trenches there. They've had a killer free agency and offseason so far, which sucks. Number 5, it's Jacksonville. Jacksonville could go Mason Graham, but supposedly they really like Calvin Banks. They even like him over Will Campbell, but I say Will Campbell goes to 4. If they like Calvin Banks so much and they want to protect Trevor Lawrence, let's say they go Calvin Banks. You think about who's remaining. You got Will Johnson. You got Nathan Graham. You got Ashton Genty. You got those guys. Those guys start to fall. Tyler Warren. Those guys are still on the board. I think more than likely, let's say if it's a trade up, I would say possibly if you're going to trade up at that point, it's 2 players that I'm cool with trading up for. Or not say cool. I think that more than likely Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan, because who do you really have at corner right now besides Jalen Ramsey? Cam Smith has not done anything to earn the second corner. I don't trust him. And yes, I am DSG. I'm still watching film, brother. And I'm trying to. What I'm trying to do is trying to round out, trying to rewatch on guys because I gotta. I sometimes I look at their grades and I'm kind of like, do I feel comfortable with that grade? So I rewatch them, and then I gotta watch some other guys at different positions so I can kind of round it out. But I am, and it's a lot of fun. I love it.
It's like draft porn.
100%. And so Genty's another guy. I'm gonna be honest. Genty I like a lot, and it's a guy that I could see as a reason. Mason Graham, I'm willing to let that fall. I mean, Mason Graham's a good player. We need a D tackle, especially with Calais Campbell. But there's guys in the later, I think it's deeper in D tackle than it is for any of those other positions, corner especially. But I'll tell you what, forgive me, I'm forgetting names. I'm bad at this when it comes to names. Hunter, I think it's more than likely. Now, if there's a player, let's see what happens with Travis Hunter. If Travis Hunter falls,
Oh, there's no way he falls.
I never say there's no way. I'll never say there's no way. There's too many times people say there's no way that guy's there. There's no way that guy gets taken in the top 10. That guy's gonna fall, bro, and they get taken or they fall. I'll never say. Now again, I just told you I have him at number 3, and when I was doing it earlier, he'll be in that conversation, right? He should be top 5, but 3 quarterbacks go in the first round in the top 10. 4 quarterbacks go in the top 10. Those guys could fall. It happens all the time. Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. If any of those guys are in that vicinity at 5, 6, 7, 8, those are guys that I would consider in a trade up. But if a lot of these guys are down at 13, if the Mason Grahams, the Genties, the McMillans, the whatever, then I would even consider doing a trade down. And then I would look at maybe Cincinnati. Cincinnati may want to trade up to get an edge rusher because you have teams like Atlanta and I'm losing the kid. There's a few teams in between Miami and Cincinnati that want an edge rusher. Hendrickson's more than likely going to get traded. So I could see the Bengals wanting to move up. So I'd see if the Bengals would call me. I'm not calling the Bengals about trading down, but see if the Bengals call and they say, hey, man, I want to trade up. Maybe they want to get a Mike Green or a Michael Williams out of Georgia. Miami trades back. Then I'm looking at possibly at that point, even at 13, I'd take him because I think he gives you a little more flexibility. Is Jody Barron, the corner out of Texas, because he could play out. He could play as a slot corner. He could play as a starting corner. He's physical. I like him a lot. So I'm sorry I rambled on, guys. I apologize. Scotty says Chicago at 10. I'll call if Mimbo is on the board. That's only 3 spots and jump San Francisco. So there you go. That's the Missouri kid. But anywho, so rambled on that. Alex, why are you looking at your phone? You're disrespectful. You don't pay attention.
Well, I'm actually still looking at the coaches available.
Oh.
That's all I can make.
Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anything.
What other coach?
We're getting closer to the end for Inside the NBA. That sucks. For those who should just... I'm not even going to bother with that. But anyway, let's see. Is there anything else? You guys got any more questions for us in regards to Heat or NFL, the draft?
Well, I do want to mention something about. Were you able to see Luka return yesterday in Dallas?
I just saw his. I didn't see the game. I didn't see the highlights. I did see the beginning where his reaction to the tribute video, which that hit hard. Yep. You know, I feel for him, man. And I hope
what markets are. The Dallas Mavericks are projected to lose unless they Cooper flag, they win the lottery, they trade for KD. The Mavericks are projected to lose up to 9 figures in value as the year go on. So when people don't understand what markets are and what the power of one player is, first of all, mixed with Luka's reaction, the way Nike has been marketing his return. Where if you saw, I don't know if you saw the commercial of him dribbling and the towel say trader. Like there are ramifications that you do not understand. Where at times where you might be concerned that they were concerned about paying Luka $300 million or supermax. Luka was worth that for that city, for that team, because believe it or not, their value was way above when Luka was there. Now that Luka's gone, the Dallas are not as valuable a franchise as they were before. And that's a depreciating asset. So for people that don't understand the marketing and the relationship that players have with cities and teams, one player does move the needle. LeBron moves the needle. Luka moves the needle. There's players that are generational stars that move the needles. And that's what these franchises are still stunned that Luka was moved. But it also, what I like to see is that people forget that Luka grew up there. Luka was drafted as an 18-year-old kid, skinny, scrawny kid from Slovenia. And he grew up in Dallas. Like his roots were there. And you saw that. You saw that in his tears yesterday. You saw the emotion in his eyes. And that's very difficult. People forget that they're human beings as well. And a lot of shit was said about Luka. So I understand where the emotions come from, and the fact that he was able to perform at that level, I think it was a very emotional and interesting sight for the fans to see that in person. So I just want to share, because I think people forget about the humanity side of these athletes and these teams and these professional settings. So it's cool to see it in person, in the flesh.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Let's see if I could think of a in-house story very quick before we wrap up. Let's see if Tati's paying attention, because I'm trying to remember. Tati's new thing that just drives me crazy, Alex, and you know how it usually is. I'll think something's crazy. You probably think, hey, Bobby, it's not so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The other day, she was having, I think it was strawberries, but now it's watermelon. It has watermelon. I think it was strawberries that day. I don't think it was watermelon. Maybe I'm crazy. But I know it was watermelon recently. Gets the fruit, and it's some kind of pepper. Maybe she puts in a comment right now. Here she goes. Oh, she's laughing. Put the name. It was watermelon. So she's by the sink. Yeah. And I see she's chopping down this watermelon like she's never had it before. Yeah. You know, and so I walk up next to her. I'm going to tell her something.
Oh, yeah. Tahini. Yeah. On the fruits, on mangoes and all that.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's for some spices.
Why? It's a fruit.
Well, why do you? They make it spicy, man.
Why? Why do you want to make it spicy?
I mean, I don't know, bro. It's a taste.
Some of these, this one doesn't even like spicy chicken wings. She dips it in ranch, or you drown it. She doesn't taste the spice, but she wants spice for fruit.
It evens out. It evens out.
The
fruit. Yeah, it evens out.
Crazy. I looked at her. I said, "What are you doing? What is this?" I said, "What is this?" She goes, and she started like laughing, choking on her food because she knew I'm like, and she keeps doing it. She's like, "It's so good," and I'm like, "Stop, dude! What is that?"
That's a very popular thing.
I don't care if I'm on the wrong side. It's on the wrong side for you. That's that Mexican stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. Actually, we make the street corn. We make with tahini, with the cheese. Tahini's really
corn
good.
Is different. Corn is different. That's corn. It's not like you put salt on corn. Like
I've never put it on watermelon. My wife puts
on
mango. On mango.
Oh, you see?
Yeah, no,
okay.
No, it's the first time.
Mango's still crazy, but
I'll try it.
Of course you'll try. Oh, this is the thing when I don't get with my brother.
Yeah. Wow.
This guy's supposed to be like
that. I'm open to trying new things.
No, you openly go against me like you're a dick. You can't even.
What do you mean openly going against you?
You're going against me like you can't even be like. She said you're on the wrong side. When you realize, hold on.
You legit told me you could. Maybe I'm crazy. You can tell me. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm like,
no, I lied, motherfucker. You should be able to go. No, Bobby, dude, you're right, dude. Tati, that's fucking weird, bro. You know what I mean? And then after the show, no, I really meant like bros before hoes, bro. Like what the hell, I put it on mango, watermelon, cantaloupe, pineapple. She keeps doing that. She's like, "Oh, you should try it." I'm like, "I'm good. Appreciate you. Blessing. Blessing upon you."
But have you tried it?
No.
Why do you try it?
That's dumb.
Why is it dumb?
Because that's watermelon. Like that's like me putting it on Oreos. Hey, you want a Reese? Let me put some tahini. Why? I want to enjoy the tahini. I mean, I want to enjoy the Reese. I don't want to like when you eat a watermelon. You eat a watermelon, the juice, the cold, the flavor, the sweetness. Yeah. Oh man, you're basically taking the flavor out because it drowns into the tahini, and then you're like,
you could be adding flavor.
It's no longer. Tristan tries everything. He tried it and he didn't like it because my son is smart. My son has a brain. He didn't grow up with the fumes of the islands. And
the fumes of the islands.
You know what I mean? Like it's horrible. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like I don't know. You can't say I don't try things because I do. You know what I mean? Like, but that is like, that's weird. That's a weird thing. And it's okay because I already love you. Like we're already in love. We got 3 kids. We're married. It's stuck, it's what it is. I accept you for who you are, but it's kind of crazy to me. And I never seen her eat that until recently. So I don't know when that came on.
Sometimes taste buds change as you get older at times too. It could be hormonal.
Have you ever had,
prosciutto and cantaloupe?
No.
Oh, I have prosciutto. What do you mean? Prosciutto on cantaloupe or prosciutto and cantaloupe at the same time?
Explain that to me, Alex. What's
prosciutto? Is like a slice form of ham. Like there's like you put it on pizza. It's like a very thin ham. It's very good. It's actually really good.
Wrapped.
Oh, wrapped? No, I have not. Now, what's Jamaica smell like?
I don't know. I have no.
For sure. Now, what I have is bacon, dates wrapped in bacon.
Ask me.
Have you ever had dates?
Don't ask me on air.
You know what dates are, Bobby?
A date?
Dates. Yeah, you know what they are?
Yeah, you meet a girl, you take her out to a movie and dinner.
Funny.
Yeah, a date. Yeah, wait. No, I don't know what the fuck.
Dates wrapped in bacon. Delicious.
Okay. So
Whoa.
Is that what happened, Alex? Hey, babe. You ever heard of dates
Wrapped in bacon?
And that was the dealer. That was it. Mayo and sugar with banana. Stop it, Mom. Stop it. The heck are we talking about here? Oh my goodness! You had the Spanish thing with the tahine, and then you got the white thing.
But
I'm stuck in two different worlds. I'm being pulled apart.
Make yourself open up a can of tuna. Put mayo on it, right? Put mayo on the can of tuna.
Yeah, that's different.
Toast bread and put grape jelly on the bread.
No,
put the tuna on the bread. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it.
Stop. That makes no sense.
You have no idea.
That makes no sense.
Oh my god, blue cheese stuffed dates wrapped in bacon. Oh, I'm trying that shit.
What is a date? And now I'm thinking like you wrapped
Bob,
Jamila in a bacon, and that's how you fell in love. Like she was like, oh, you're so good, you know.
Imagine a bigger raisin that is not dry, that is puffy. That's a date. It's a grapefruit. It's like a fig. You know what a fig is, Bobby? You do not know what a fig is, asshole.
It's a cookie, right? A fig Newton.
What comes from where they make it from, bro? Where they get the fruit extract from, man.
I don't know.
Okay.
Man.
Google date right now. So we can.
I swear to say a date is when two people go to. I'm like, you fuckers. It's like when you tried to convince me I was eating a dolphin when I was having a mahi.
Oh, dolphin fingers. Dolphin fingers. Dates are delicious, man.
They're like cockroaches. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't touch that.
You wouldn't touch that?
That looks like cockroach.
They're really good.
That looks like a shriveled up mummy's nutsack. Like I wouldn't touch that.
Unbelievable.
The picture I see, there's like a bunch of figs, but they look like shriveled up. You uncultured. a mayo banana sandwich. Stop it! I've never seen you eat that. Mom, mayo, but you're just making stuff up. You have to be.
Unbelievable, bro.
Don't tell me.
Man, I got a bag of dates right now in my closet. I'm about to go munch on.
It sounds so bad. I'm gonna go munch on those dates.
What? Those dates.
What?
You know what I've been doing lately?
That's different. Sweet on sweet. Peanut butter banana sandwich is different. That's sweet on sweet.
That's not bad.
That's like pineapple pizza. That's stupid. You know.
That's one thing we agree upon. I do not like hot pineapple. Like pineapple should not be hot.
Has Bobby ever had a no?
What?
I don't know what it was. I don't even know the name of it. My mother answered, so no, he hasn't. No, he is truly uncultured.
Oh, it's your charcuterie board. Look, that's the one I was saying. I call it the charcuterie board. It's a spread, Bob. They have cheeses, they have hams, they have a salami, they have grapes.
Yeah. That's
it's
like
a spread.
Yeah, I've had that. I mean, that's different. He's truly uncultured and has no taste buds. What? Yeah, that is my preferred dish. If I go to a place I've never been before, I'm like, okay. Because here's my thing: you go to a restaurant that you've never been.
Yeah.
And let's say you it's a $20 meal, and you're looking at it, and it's a dish you never had. And maybe Alex, for you, like you go, hey, I'm gonna try this because I've never had it before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For me though, it's like if I have it and it's not good, I just wasted $20. I'm not gonna finish that meal.
Oh, you see, I'll finish it.
Well, that's fair. Whatever. Yeah, and that to me, that means no taste buds because you're like you're just ignoring it.
No. It's no taste. You have taste buds, but you understand you're trying new things, and it might not be of your preference, but you're still gonna eat it because I mean, chicken tenders you can get anywhere. Why would you go to a restaurant to get chicken tenders? Because
I'm not going to waste money. My wife wants to go to a restaurant she's never been and she wants to try some. All right, baby, you try it out. Oh, is it good? No, it's not good. Oh, you're going to take it home. Oh, you're going to let your daddy eat because you don't like it. That's what usually happens. Me? No, I want to enjoy my meal. I want to sit down, have some chicken wings. Oh, man, they're good. No matter how they're cooked, it's chicken wings. It's good. The chicken tenders, it's good.
How do you eat chicken wings there, Bob? Like, how do you eat? You just suck the chicken wing.
Suck the shit out of the chicken wing.
Right off the bone. Right off the bone. Just the bone left.
And first of all, this is how my wife, she don't really know, his international food. Cuban, Puerto Rican, Italian, Polish. That's more international than most. I've had all those foods, and I can name most of them that I've liked. So, you're lying live on air. So I'm going to save this for the lawyers if you keep disrespecting me like this live on air. Just telling you. Don't disrespect me.
About the only thing is that there's so many foods that we don't try sometimes because the way they look, and there's
best chicken wing sauce.
Oh,
best chicken wing sauce.
Check best chicken wing sauce. Now I'm into hot honey from
my mother likes that. But
Wingstop
is that
Wingstop.
Yeah, my sister Casey swears by Wingstop, and so my mother told me recently about that. The hot honey. She just told me about that.
I still love my Flanagan's wings, and I'll dip them in ranch. But
I'm medium buffalo sauce. That's me. I'm buffalo sauce.
Definitely.
I don't like garlic wings. I don't like any. Tati likes garlic.
I do like the my son and my wife get a lot of the lemon pepper wings. They're also really good. Yeah, dry rub for sure. They always have to be lemon pepper. Everything
She's
has
definitely
to be
into dry rub. Definitely into dry rub.
Definitely dry rub. That turns them into a little moist. I got you, man. Garlic parm, I like garlic parm too a little bit. What?
My mother says she's addicted.
I said? Oh, to hot honey?
Oh. Yeah. The Kawhi Leonard laugh.
That's one thing that. Okay. Do you like, Bobby? Do you like pulled pork sandwiches?
You mean like a buffalo, like barbecue?
Yeah, like barbecue, like pulled pork. Pork sandwiches. You eat that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like, for example, like Philly steaks, like Philly cheesesteaks, like with onions or no? You just have it with the cheese and the.
I honestly, I don't remember even having one.
You remember having that one? Okay.
No.
All right.
I mean, I've never gone and had one of those. We've had Dickie's barbecue.
Oh, Dickie's is good. Dickie's is all right.
For sure.
Yeah, it's true. That's what we had at your house. We went with your mom to get it. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I like the way that.
Have I ever had it? I don't remember if I've ever had it. I swear I don't remember ever having a Philly cheesesteak.
Hey, if you ever go to Philadelphia, you have to have a Philly cheesesteak, man. It is delicious, bro. Delicious.
It's like when people say, "Oh, if I've been to New York City, it's like you gotta have a New York pizza, man." And I had
like the long pizza.
And I was like, it wasn't that good. No, it wasn't that good. It was like,
perfect pizza styles that you like. I love deep dish. I
like
love deep dish pizza.
He sounds like a fussy eater. It's not that I'm a fussy eater. It's that people are fussy the way I eat, because when we go to a place, they're like, "Oh, look at all this menu." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I just want to get the steak medium with fries and a Coke." And they're like, "Bro," or Tati, "Bobby, why don't you try?" And Tati wouldn't. Tati would just go on. This would be Alex. "Bobby, bro, check this out. Try this."
Yeah,
that would be that. They're fussy. I'm not fussy.
Well, we try to open up your culinary horizons.
No, leave me alone.
Just chicken wings.
Let me just eat. Let me eat.
I'm gonna take this man to Italy, and he's like, "Do you have chicken tenders and fries?" Like,
chicken parm. You got a parm? You got Alfredo? Yeah. Oh, cool. Thank you.
Also, okay. So you like the chicken breast crusted, like Parmesan crusted?
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right. I can take it.
Bro, this is painting a bad picture of me, and so I'm gonna say disclaimer. These people are liars, I supposed to trust them.
He has opened up his palate a little bit more since I knew him. Because
you could say that because you said it not too long ago. You told me you were like, "Damn, Bobby,
you've opened up your palate a lot." I'm talking about this man's diet was Oreo cookies, corn dogs, Oreo cookies, chocolate milk,
chocolate milk,
half a quesadilla, the tacos, no lettuce. Do you still do tacos no lettuce, or you do the tacos with lettuce?
No, I prefer no lettuce. I'll eat it with lettuce, but I don't take no lettuce.
That's true. I saw you eat the taco supreme with like sour cream and tomato and everything one day.
If I have to, if it's there, I will, but I prefer not to. No. See, that's a difference. Like, I prefer not to eat it. I would eat it if I have to, but I prefer not to. Like, if you're gonna tell me, "Hey, what do you want?" I don't want that. Do you eat seafood? Yes, I eat crabs.
Yeah.
I've had crab. I have never had a lobster.
You have crabs?
No. I said I've had. No, see, fuck. You know,
Past tense.
Crab-
Is it cured now?
shrimp,
You're good.
shrimp. See, Tati's line again. Only crabs and salmon. I've had shrimp,
You've had shrimp.
crab legs, salmon, mahi mahi, fish sticks.
Jamila made mahi mahi today. I didn't get.
Alex, have I ever had mahi mahi? Have I ever had mahi mahi?
I think you have.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've ate in
fish,
front of
yeah.
you. That's what I had it with. I had it with
That's
you.
true. That's
I ate
true.
it.
Yeah.
Shut up, Scotty. Fussy as shit. I'm not fussy. They're fussy. Accept me for who I am. I don't go in there going, dude, I don't want to eat there. No.
Are the fish sticks like in shapes of dinosaurs and all that you get?
No.
I mean, I'll eat those. I love
You guys
those.
are haters, dog. You guys are haters, man. I should have ended this show 29 minutes ago. This is some bullshit. This show too damn long. Some
You can't do
bullshit.
nothing.
I
You
don't
see?
try.
Tati said, Jamila loves fish tacos. I do not like seafood in tacos. I can't do it. I need to have beef, chicken, but I cannot have seafood.
Well, okay,
in
so
tacos.
let me ask you why. Now, because I can understand it. I don't judge
like
you on
the
it.
texture. I don't like the texture in the tacos. When I mix it with sour cream, because I like to put spices on it. When I put onions and all that, I prefer to eat fish by itself with mashed potato, rice and beans, or I don't even like fish in a salad. I do not like. The only thing I put in a salad is tuna. I don't like cooked fish in a salad. I can't have.
You know what's really good, like by itself, and here's something I may surprise you or not, is I can straight up eat avocado by itself.
Oh,
give me some
but
avocado,
put salt,
some salt,
and
salt
oil?
and pepper, salt
You
and pepper.
see? But you see, but the problem is avocado is like bland. Avocado has no taste. Like it's
If you
just
put salt
like,
and pepper, it has taste.
oh no, I'm saying
And it's
as
legit.
It's a fruit.
I love it. I told
Yeah.
you, I love it.
And
But
it's a great.
Craig
protein,
says I eat
babe. It's the
bacon,
best
deer
fat.
meat, and rabbit. I've had deer meat.
Ooh.
I've had deer meat. Somebody brought that to work one time, and I tried it. out. They made a jerky out of it.
Yeah, I love lamb. I love lamb. That's one of my.
Never
favorite
had
meats.
lamb.
You've never had lamb? Ooh.
No. Not out of choice. I just haven't had it.
On a
Maybe my
gyro,
grandmother
Bobby,
made it, but not that I remember.
Get a lamb gyro. Oh man,
gyro's never. I've had gyro before. I just don't like it.
you don't like it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah. Let me see. Sour cream on a taco. Yeah. Again, that's something I don't prefer.
Yeah,
I'm,
for
again,
sure.
I might order it. See, I don't like tacos. The only tacos I like, and then people go, "Oh, that's not real tacos," is Taco Bell. That's the only place I'll have a taco. I don't like going to a Mexican restaurant. You know, I love Cuban food. I like Puerto Rican food.
Yeah.
Italian, Polish, whatever.
Do you eat
There's more than
mofongo?
just no,
You don't eat mofongo?
no, I don't.
That's Puerto Rican.
No, I don't.
It's
no.
mashed plantains, basically. It's really good.
Yeah, I know what it is. I know. Tati
Yeah.
orders it all the time. Yeah, I know what it is.
She said resounding no.
No.
Tati, have you given him an acapurria?
What?
Acapurria. She'll explain to you what it is.
You don't eat Polish food because you don't make it here, but my grandma makes it. And I eat it there. Yes, kibasi and then halupki. And mom, if it's in there, mommy put it in there. See, look, veal speedies. I've eaten speedies. Yeah, you see? So like stuffed cabbage. I've had stuffed cabbage. See, this is the thing, you know, like you remember, Tati, Alex, your excuse, because you when I would go to my grandmother's, you'd be in Miami, but Tati, we've been married for I don't know how many years we've been married now. Been together for 15 years, been married 12 years, go on 13.
Get it right, bro. Get it right.
Like I don't. Who gives a shit? Whatever. But you weren't around before that. You don't know what I've eaten because I've only been with you.
Oh,
so whatever, bro.
Now that I see stuffed cabbage, Jamila made.
I feel like you would order off the kids menu.
Oh, for sure.
Whatever, bro.
Sure.
No.
There should be either be a big kids menu, like picky adult menu.
No, there was I forget, what are these things? They're like these. There's like potatoes in there. I wish Grandma was watching. That's stuff that we've had, stuffed cabbage. It's like this. Tati may know it, but you put salt on it. It's really good. I had to because if I didn't, I wouldn't eat anything. I've eaten it. I liked it. Not my fault that Tati doesn't know how to cook past.
Oh, what I was going to tell
dish.
you when I saw the stuffed cabbage, Jamila the other day made a lasagna from eggplant with marinara sauce. It tastes just like a legit lasagna. I was stunned. And I was like, what? Because I've eaten stuff like eggplants and then like stuffed peppers. I love peppers now. Oh, man. I make a sweet cilantro multicolored pepper rice. Oh, bro. Bob, you saute the peppers. You saute the peppers, tomato, onions, and you put a little bit of cilantro too, and then you mix it with your white rice, and it gets a little color and a little taste, a little oil. Oh man, sweet. I'm gonna make it for you guys next time you come. And you ready?
Yeah, I'll watch you guys eat it and see how it goes.
You'll watch it, eat it. You want to try it?
I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I'll check it out.
You'll check it out.
I'll check it out. I'll see how it is. But anyway,
I'll smell it. Oh, it smells good. Smells good, bro.
It smells like straight ass. I'm not having it. Thank you,
smells like straight ass.
I hope you guys enjoy that.
Oh man.
See, Tati, I'm not gonna take you anywhere anymore since you're gonna judge me every time. Like you don't say that during thing. Like I take her to a place. We'll go to a place and this is really nice. We talk. We have a good time. But now I see you judge me while I eat, and I'm not gonna feel comfortable eating around you no more. That's how it is. I'll take you to a place and then I'll go get McDonald's or something, like whatever. It's what it is. It's gonna be. If that's how it is. And I do eat haluki. I've had haluki. I grew up on that. So you're a liar too. You lied there. So anyway, I hope everybody realizes that. But fried eggplant. I'm good. Cabbage and noodles is the Dutch thing. There you go. Mom says grandma makes that. My grandmother makes that. Yeah. So anywho, almost that time. It's 10:57 Eastern. We're at an hour and 35 minutes. I was supposed to end this at about 35 minutes ago, and I was like, "Oh, I want to keep talking." We talked about something else, and everybody missed the haven't been on a date in a long time comment. No, I missed that. I did miss that on it, and I'm not going to go back up to it. DSG, I'm not going to look at it because I think you're trying to rag on me, and I'm not going to entertain that. So I'm not even going to scroll back up. So there you go. Anywho, appreciate you guys though. Everyone who's tuning in, we appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. You chicken nuggets, fries, motherfucker. Eat motherfucker. We appreciate you guys, man. So Alex and I talked Monday night. We did the show. Talked yesterday. Talked tonight. Our next show will be tomorrow. And we'll just keep this going. No, but don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. You got the draft in a couple weeks. I'm very excited for that. Again, don't forget to join us on those days, to watch the draft, react to this, have a blast. We're talking every pick. Of course, obviously emphasizing the Dolphins pick as we get closer to it. All 3 days, every hour till the end. It's 4.5, and then like 6 hours, I think, is day 3. So we've been on. We're on. We stay on, dude. And so, but it's sponsored by Caneswear, and you get a Caneswear gift card. You have a chance to win it if you tune in, a lucky winner each day. And I appreciate Brett and the Caneswear team for doing that for us. They're awesome, and I'm glad to have them part of FTSN. Until then, like and subscribe, and good night, Miami. I feel personally attacked. Peace.
Bobby Hill Gringos in the house. Straight out of Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd. Alex, the boy with the D. Step into rhythm, feel the heat. Street vibes mixing with the Latin tree. In our flow, the two worlds